We're in the middle of a new project and we're going to take you along. So we're going to be building a balcony on our house right here off this front wall. So far, I dug a trench, compacted sand, and built a frame for my footings. This is the beginning of the balcony. So we're actually going to have 3 pads in the ground, which are going to be fairly close together. And it's going to be a pretty small balcony, only 4 feet deep, 8 feet wide. It's going to be basically a sitting space for 2. And now we're ready to start mixing concrete and getting these poured in. So let's get going. Well, this came out pretty good. Now it took some effort to get these lined up in a straight line and even and level, but I think they're there. They're pretty close. And I decided to embed the first block into the pad, and I partially core filled it, and that way it would be locked in. When I add my next blocks, we're going to core fill them, and the whole unit will be one unit locked into the ground. I'm going to start with these corner bags and see if they're ruined.
I think they'll be okay.
Wasn't I supposed to mark this somewhere? We finally got our piers backfilled. We're ready. We're ready to start framing. That's all there is to it. You know. Let's see if this lines up okay. Okay, let me tell you where we're at on the balcony project. We have the frame started. I know this looks excessive. It is. We're overbuilding this. Now, I'm going to go ahead, get my joists cut, popped in, should be quick, and then the floor framing will be done. Okay, we got the deck all strapped down. This thing is solid. Now, it might look a little overkill. It is, because what I want to do is build it up so that it's equal to the house. So basically, I want this floor to be almost level with the floor on the inside of the house. But I also wanted it to be flush with the bottom of the house, because I want the house to look even when you look across. I don't want it up and down. So I built out a beam around the bottom, similar to the house, sitting on blocks. Then I built my frame on top of it using 2x8s because that's what our floor joists are. So this is the same height as inside the house, and it's going to flow from inside to outside. Remember, this is a balcony. Now this is going to be a screened balcony, so it's going to be an extension of the inside. It's not going to be a porch where we're going to have steps coming up to it. It's going to be a sealed balcony. So we wanted it to flow, and I think so far it's going good. The only thing is it's a little small. We're sticking with a 4x8. It's basically just big enough for 2 people to sit down. That's it. Maybe I should have pushed it a little bit bigger, but we have windows on either side. And I don't want to push it out too close to the windows. And also, we have a window up above. And I don't want to come out too far, because that makes the roof longer. And I don't know. This is just a good simple size, and I think it'll work. I'm getting ready for the next step of our balcony build, which is going to be the walls. I'm laying out my bottom plate for this wall. I'm actually going to be framing my supports out of 2x4s, but the bottom plate is a 2x6. I want it overhanging the deck. You'll see why it's just a finishing touch to help shed water, and siding is going to go underneath it. Since I'm overhanging it, I want it to shed water. We're going to put a bevel on it. That's what I'm getting ready to do now. Hopefully that makes sense, but basically I'm going to run this 2x6 through my table saw. I'm going to bevel the front of it a little bit so there's a 2-inch bevel and then a 3.5-inch wide flat spot. That means I have a flat spot for my supports and a bevel on the front for shedding water. Okay, I'm happy with that. That looks really good. We have our bevel. You can see where the wall is going to be. Now I'm going to make 2 more pieces just like this, simpler, for the sides. So the sides will be completely beveled just the same. After we get those done, I'll adjust my table saw and do a small kerf on the bottom of the front underside of these boards that I made. And a kerf is basically a little thin slit, a cut. And what it's going to do is, pretend this is the edge and I have my bevel. Well, when rain hits this, it wants to run off, it's going to run down, but that water tension can actually hold the water and it'll drip under this way and hold on the bottom side of the board. By putting a small groove in the bottom of the wood, right there, small slit, it creates a break, so when the water drips down, it'll come here, but it'll hit that gap and it won't be able to continue on to the siding and behind the siding. So it basically makes a drip spot where the water can't cling on anymore. So here these are, all beveled, and you can see what I mean there about the kerf, that little groove. So that was the hardest part of this whole job. Now it's basic framing. I'm gonna pull some 2x4s out and just get these framed up. This isn't a wall, these are just porch supports. It's gonna be a screened balcony with a railing. So it's gonna be a pretty simple build. Let's frame this up. I might need help to hold these. This one right here. This one right here. Can you just get the drill ready and we'll just try to do this?
Right there looks good.
It kind of moves a lot, I don't know.
Still looks good.
Well, that's a good start. We got the first wall up. Now we're going to copy the same thing on the other side. So we'll get that done, then we'll come back to finish up with the front. Let me get out of the way so you can see that we got both sides up. Now we're going to work on the front. It's ready to screw together, so I'm going to get it screwed into place. Hopefully lift it into place before the rain starts.
Listen, this is my normal body when I'm not doing anything.
And then get the end of it on here.
Yeah,
Then we could lift the other end up and slide it.
it's risky, but let's see what we can do. Okay.
Alright.
I'm going to try to tilt it toward me.
This is working.
that worked surprisingly well. Now Ashley had a really good idea there to get the wall up. I wasn't sure how I was going to lift it. I do have an excavator, but this trailer's in the way. It would have been a hassle to pull that out, and you got it up. So now we're going to build the header on the top, and this is going to be the part that really carries the roof load. So we're just going to do a double 2x6 header up there. Figured it'd be easier to put this in later so that we didn't have all that extra wood to lift. Big progress has been made. We just finished up the header and you can see it looks good. On top of the header, we actually put a top plate to join together the sides to the front. This thing is locked solid. It is so overbuilt for a balcony, so overbuilt for what we need. I like it and it's coming out good, and I think it's gonna be really pretty. And now all we have to do is build the roof. So I'm gonna get to the store, purchase the lumber I need for that. We're gonna come back to this project and get the roof framed up, and it's gonna be a pretty basic, pretty easy roof. So let's get going on it. As I continue on building this balcony, you can see I have added a ledger, I guess a roof ledger board, and some metal straps. And I just finished cutting my rafters. You can see they're not very big. A simple bird mouth rafter. It's gonna sit right in those metal brackets. So there's not too much to say about it. I'll take you guys along. We're gonna get these screwed in, get our fascia on, and finish it up. Hopefully we'll have the roof framing all completed today.
Walk it up the ladder.
So technically the cut. Well, the rafters went up okay. I guess it's time for the fascia board. Okay guys, I just want to take you up here and show you what's going on with this roof. We got it all framed in, secured, and I attached our purlings, furring strips for the metal roofing. So there it is. We have some roofing panels that we bought when we did our house roof, and they've just been sitting around waiting for this day, and I'm glad it's finally here. We have our purlins set up 2 feet on center, and I measured on our roof panels and I drilled out where the screws are going to go. So it should be a pretty easy installation. Line it up, screw it down. Don't get too close, but
I'm not.
when I need the drill and screws, you can probably get it.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea that it's raining.
It always rains at the wrong time. You're crazy.